Hello everyone, welcome to my channel GS Veda. I have started this channel to help the aspirants of government examinations. The main focus of this channel will be on the general studies portion for SSC, railways and other exams. So today I will begin with the ancient history. The first important chapter of ancient history is the prehistoric period. Now what is prehistoric period? It is that period in the history which has no written record or which has no recorded information. If there is no recorded information, then how do we come to know about them? It is from the various archaeological evidences like stone tools, pottery, paintings, metal implements, artifacts, etc., which has been found in different parts of the Indian subcontinent help us to know about them. These stone tools and pottery, the stone tools and potteries were made, used and left behind by the early people. Now it is broadly divided into Stone Age and Metal Age. In the Stone Age, a huge number of stone tools were found. The Stone Age is then further divided into Paleolithic Age, Mesolithic Age and Neolithic Age. Now let's break the word Paleolithic. Paleo means old and lithic means stone. So this age is also known as the Old Stone Age. Meso means middle. So this age is also known as the Middle Stone Age. Then comes the Neolithic Age. Neo means new. So this age is known as the New Stone Age. Then comes the Metal Age. It is also divided into two parts, that is the Chalcolithic Age and the Iron Age. Chalco means copper and lithic means stone. So Chalcolithic Age is also known as the Copper Stone Age. Now how the dating of this period, that is the prehistoric period, is done. It is done scientifically by methods such as radiocarbon dating and dendrochronology. Radiocarbon dating is also known as carbon-14 dating. This method is used for determining the age of an object containing organic matter. By this method, it is used to measure. By this method, the age of an object can be determined by measuring the loss of carbon in that organic material over a period of time. Now in dendrochronology, the age of a piece of wood is determined by counting the number of tree rings in that particular wood. Now let's discuss about the Stone Age in detail. Let us start from the Paleolithic Age, which is also known as the Old Stone Age. It started from about 2 million years ago and continued till 12,000 years ago. It is further divided into Lower, Middle and Upper Paleolithic Age. In this period, the people of this age were known as the hunter-gatherers because they obtained their food by hunting wild animals and gathering edible roots, fruits and plants. They were nomads because they constantly used to move from one place to another, either in search of food, shelter or water bodies. Most of the Paleolithic sites are located near the water bodies. Now the most important characteristic feature of the Stone Age and Metal Age are the tools used by those people. In the Paleolithic Age, the tools were unpolished and they were made up of rough stones, and they were mostly made up of rough stones. Some tools were also made up of woods and bones. Again, some other tools were made up of a hard rock called quartzite. they took shelter in the natural caves. So you can see this point. The Homo sapiens appeared in the Upper Paleolithic age for the first time. Now in the caves of Bhimbetka, which is in Madhya Pradesh, paintings were also found. From these paintings, we can know about the lifestyle of those people. Now in Kurnool caves, traces of ash has been found, which means they were familiar with the use of fire. Now see the map. Here you can see the Kurnool caves where the traces of ash has been found. Then comes the Hongsi cave. Then comes Hongsi, which is in Karnataka. This is also a Paleolithic site. And then comes the Bhimbetka. It is in Madhya Pradesh. These three are the most important Paleolithic site. Then comes the Mesolithic age. It extended from about 12,000 years ago and then continued till 10,000 years ago. It is considered to be the transitional or intermediate phase between the Paleolithic and the Neolithic age. During this period, environmental changes began and the climate became warmer, which led to the development of grasslands. As a result of which, there was increase in a number of grass-eating animals like cattle, deer, goat, etc. And the grain-bearing grasses such as wheat, barley and rice grew naturally. The most important characteristic tool of this period are called the microliths. These are tiny tools. So the question may be asked, microliths belong to which of the following age? Then your answer will be Mesolithic age. Along with the microliths, the Paleolithic tools continued to be in use. Hunting gathering along with fishing continued. In some sites, burials of dead along with microliths have also been found. Then comes the Neolithic age. It started from about 10,000 years ago. The chief characteristic of this age is the practice of agriculture. Now you can see in the Mesolithic age, the grain-bearing grasses grew naturally. So in the Neolithic age, the people started taking interest in these new plants. They observed the places where these plants are found and gradually they started growing these plants by their own. As a result of which, the practice of agriculture started. Since agriculture started, domestication started. Now what is domestication? It is that process in which people grow plants and look after animals. The earliest domesticated animals were sheep and goat, and the earliest domesticated plants include wheat and barley. Now as agriculture and domestication develop, they have to stay in a place for a longer time, since agriculture is a long process. Because they have to look after the plants, water them and drive away animals and birds till the grain get ripened. As a result of which they have to stay in a single place for a long time, due to which settled life started. Now as settled life started, villages emerged. The tools used during this period were polished in nature. Mortars and pestles were also used. Now As they were doing agriculture now, they need something to store those grains, and also they need something for cooking those grains. So gradually pottery developed. From here we can also say that the potters will develop during this age. They used mud brick houses for shelter, and in this period people used clothes of cotton and wool. Now evidences of settled life has been found. Evidences of settled life has been found in Buzahum, Evidences of settled life has been found in Buzahum and Mehergarh. Buzahum is in present-day Kashmir and Mehergarh is near Bolan Pass. Now let us see the map again. I guess you can see Mehergarh and Buzahum. Buzahum is in Kashmir and Mehergarh is near Bolan Pass. There are other important Neolithic sites also, but these two are important. I have taken this map from class 6 NCERT. If you want, you can go through this map. Then comes the Metal Age. Neolithic age is followed by the Chalcolithic age. It started about 6,000 years ago. During this age, copper and stone implements were used, and so this period is known as the Chalcolithic age. So another question may be asked from this chapter, that is, in which age, name the first metal to be discovered. So the first metal to be discovered is copper. After copper was discovered, it was mixed with tin to make an alloy called bronze. In this period, people used to travel to distant lands to obtain metal ores, which led to the formation of a network of culture called Chalcolithic culture. The example of one such culture is the Harappan culture, which we are going to discuss in the next video. Now comes the Iron Age. Chalcolithic age is followed by the Iron Age. In this period, iron implements were used. Iron is mentioned in Atharva Veda and Satapatha Brahmana. In southern India, Iron Age is marked by megalithic burials. Now what are megaliths? These are large stones. In South India, the burial pits were covered with these large stones, and such burials are called megalithic burials. So these periods were not the same, either Stone Age or Metal Age, these were not the same throughout the subcontinent. In some places, people started farming and domestication, while in others, they were still continuing the hunting-gathering form of life. As we have no written records, we can only assume, or so these facts are not that certain. Okay, I hope your concepts are clear. And we have completed this chapter. If you like the video, please like, share and subscribe my channel. The next video will be on the Indus civilization. Till then, revise your notes and take care. Thank you.